Hello chess lovers! 3 rounds have already been played in the first stage of 2019 Grand Chess Tour. After 3 rounds, the reigning world chess champion Magnus Carlsen and Chinese chess prodigy Wei Yi are leading the 10-player field after getting 2 wins and a draw during the first day of action. In this video, I want to share with you a marvelous game played by Magnus Carlsen against Russian chess grandmaster Ian Nepomniachtchi. But before starting our game, if you are new to my channel, consider subscribing in order not to miss my future uploads. And now, let's get started with our game and see what happened on the board. Nepomniachtchi opened up with e4 and Carlsen responded with his usual Sicilian defense. c5 is on the board, which has become Carlsen's main weapon against e4. Knight f3, knight c6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4. Usually in here, Carlsen is playing knight f6 and then is going for Sveshnikov, but this time he went for e5 straight away. This is the Kalashnikov variation. The ideas in this line are similar to those in the Sveshnikov. In both cases, black accepts a backward pawn on d6 and weakens the d5 square, but gains time by chasing white knight. The difference between two variations is that both players haven't developed their knights, and this gives them extra options. Knight b5 d6, knight c3 a6, knight a3, bishop e7, g3, knight f6, bishop g2, and b5. Already the threat is b4, that's why Nepomniachtchi played knight d5, after which we have the exchange of knights on d5 and knight b8. White castles kingside, knight d7. These are lines which require a huge theoretical knowledge and the players are still in their preparations. c4, and using the vulnerability of f1 a6 diagonal, Carlsen castled kingside. Of course, white can't win a pawn by capturing on b5 with the knight because of this bishop a6. That's why once Carlsen recaptured with the a pawn, Nepomniachtchi played knight c2. Now comes f5, a standard move in typical positions. This is freeing black's position and is allowing black to create attacking chances. Knight b4, white knight is hurrying to find an outpost on c6. Meanwhile, we have bishop f6, knight c6, queen e8, a4, knight c5, bishop e3, and knight takes a4, queen c2, bishop d7, b3, and in return Carlsen counterattacked white bishop. f4 is on the board. b takes a4 was played. Of course, g takes f4 can be very dangerous because once black is opening up the dark squared bishop's diagonal, white can face serious problems. In here, black can go for this f3. If bishop takes f3, then bishop takes c6. Let's take a quick look at this line. And after rook c8, queen d3, black can get a powerful passed pawn on a4. If bishop takes h7, then simply king h8. Yes, white can face serious problems. That's why after f4 we have b takes a4, f takes e3, a takes b5, rook takes a1, rook takes a1, bishop g5 and b6. A risky move which allows black to get a powerful pawn on f2. Instead, it was better to play f3. Of course, this is a more solid choice, but in our game we have b6. Now comes e takes f2 check, king h1, bishop c8. The bishop is both stopping the passed pawn on b6 and also in some lines the bishop can be very useful on this diagonal. Rook f1 was played, queen f7, queen e2, and this time we have e4. So far so good, but it was in here that Nepomniachtchi played h4, after which his position goes down quickly. Well, in here it was better to play queen e4, and after bishop a6, white should sacrifice the rook. If bishop takes f1, then bishop takes f1 and rely on this passed pawn on b6 square. Of course, from afar this looks risky, and Nepomniachtchi failed to choose this line. Instead, he played h4. He decided to save his rook, but after h4, once black is getting these monsters, white is in trouble. A beautiful move, right guys? E3 is a powerful move. With this move, Carlsen is allowing white to win his bishop. H takes g5, after which Carlsen played rook e8. This is brilliant, guys. Let's take a look at these moves once again. After e4 h4, Carlsen played e3, and after h takes g5, rook e8. In return for the pawn, he's getting these passed pawns, but white's position is lost. Right now the threat is bishop a6. In order to lure away this queen and announce a nasty check, which can lead to a checkmate. That's why in here Nepomniachtchi played king h2, but here Carlsen went for another devastating move, and he sacrificed his second bishop, bishop g4. White accepted the second bishop sacrifice, and after this deflective move, Carlsen's e-pawn marched forward. e2 is on the board. b7. In return, Nepomniachtchi also made a deflective move, managed to win white's f-pawn, but now the second black queen appears on the board. White's position is totally lost, but as the players had little time on the clock, Nepomniachtchi went on playing. Let's see how Carlsen managed to finish up his opponent. The pawn on d5 also drops. Meanwhile, white is looking for his luck. Queen g6, a solid move which is neutralizing all possible threats. And h5, queen c4 check, d5. Yes, black's position is very solid, rock solid, and white can't do anything. Queen d7, h4, using the fact that this pawn is pinned. Rook f1, h takes g3 check, king g1, and an important move g6. This is a fight for e3 square, and I have to tell you that though queen e3 looks tempting, but this is not a good idea, because in the end of the day, white has a powerful defensive move, bishop h3. That's why after king g1, Carlsen played g6, and if you move away your knight, then queen e3 check is coming and it's over. Here Nepomniachtchi made a desperate bishop takes d5 move, but after king h8 he resigned. Yeah, it's difficult to find a good continuation for white. What are you going to do with your knight? That's why in here Nepomniachtchi resigned. Just a magnificent game by the world chess champion. He sacrificed both bishops and finished up his opponent with 2 queens. In the end, as usual, a marvelous chess puzzle for you. Please take a look at this position, which is also taken from Magnus Carlsen's game, and try to find a winning move for white. I will wait for your answer in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Here are more suggestions for you. Consider checking them out as well. I will see you in my next video. Take care.